lost all control. Her gravity is all that I know. She's over me. She's over me. She comes me with her hypnotic dance. She holds me here with only a glance. She's over me. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. I'm your host, Brent Thomas. This is the Paranormal Portal, and it's our Saturday night extravaganza of paranormal fun and hijinks. So, hope you guys are ready for the journey, but I know I am, and that's what counts, I guess. I am, of course, not alone here. I have my good friend and co-host, Mr. Don Longbeard, here with me.
The creepy long-bearded guy.
That long-bearded guy.
The comic relief, apparently.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, you do lend an air of levity, and that's important, I think. I think it is.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, so how you guys doing out there? You good? I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. It's actually been pretty reasonably decent here, which is not altogether unexpected, but I'm dropping crap all over. But it's always a nice surprise when it does. It's not been a real busy day for me. Don, what's been going on with you?
Oh, jeez. Well, let's start with Thanksgiving. That was stressful. Then let's see what. Yesterday was Friday. Today's Saturday, right?
It is. Yeah.
Wow. God, it just sucks being busy like I am. Today, work and then Portal, and now I get to relax.
Work and Portal and relax. It sounds like a recipe for absolute fun to me.
Yeah.
Well, this is the second part.
Okay, the relax, yes. That'd be
the
nice.
Relax part. Ooh, it's time to break a seal.
Oh, you had to...
Nice little cough into the microphone there, by the way.
Well...
We're just keeping it real here, ladies and gentlemen. It's a little dark in your screen, though. You know that?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you didn't turn that light on. That's why.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, why is it so dark in here? It seems a little dark.
There.
Ta-da! Now we've come to life, ladies and gentlemen. It's funny what a little color can do for you. We have a nice colored overhead light that kind of fleshes us out so we don't look like ghosts ourselves up in here. But, yeah, this is our Saturday Paranormal Portal extravaganza. As always, ladies and gentlemen, the phones will be on and running throughout the duration of the show. Yeah, like, you know what's weird, Don?
What's that?
Last night, it really freaked me out. I was like, I thought I got disconnected from the call board and somebody else was connected. It said location Ireland.
What?
Yeah, it said location Ireland last night. I was like, oh no. So I thought I wasn't connected and I thought maybe IBRO was calling in or something.
Right.
So I was like, kept redialing it on Skype. And it, of course, was already connected. There was nothing to redial, but it was just really strange. So I had some of the listeners, Julia called in and helped me test it, and that, sure enough, was me. It said for some reason I was in Ireland. Well, now it says location unknown, which is what it always says. So, yeah, but the call board is open, ladies and gentlemen. 720-923-0500. 720-923-0500. If you have something paranormal you'd love to discuss, well, we would love to discuss it with you. So feel free to call in at any time throughout the show. You don't need a special time. There's no specific time that we accept call-ins. We always accept call-ins. We will usually interrupt pretty much anything we're up to get to our calls, because that's our bread and butter. We love that kind of stuff. We love us some calls.
We do.
We loving some phone numbering.
Wow.
Didn't that, nothing? No?
I don't even think that off the ground.
Did that burn up on the runway, tried to take off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I know. I can only try so much, ladies and gentlemen. There is a limit to my creativity, believe it or not. And apparently, it was that joke. That was it. That was me hitting the wall.
Apparently, Cha-Cha has slippery hands again.
Ooh, what's going on there, Cha-Cha? Are you eating fries or something else up? It's got like
she's always like, I got sweaty palms.
Nessie says, Brent, no. Just no. You know.
Hetty Lamar.
Phone number, Hetty, is 720-923-0500. And since you're on YouTube, you can just look above my head up here.
Little
and
tiny microscopic
underneath,
font up there.
Yeah, it's kind of almost microfiche, but it's there. So you can probably get it. 720-923-0500 if you want to call in and be a part of the show. You are welcome to.
Wasn't Hetty Lamar like
an old black and white actress?
Well, yeah, but no, she was
black
like
and white movies.
She was like
silent films, maybe.
No, well, yes, but no, she was like she had a degree in some kind of science or something like that.
Oh, okay.
She was a smart lady.
Oh, fantastic. Well,
yes.
I'm sure our Hetty Lamar is smart too. So
yes,
that's a new name above my head. You're right, Duke. That's where the number is. Bacon grease,
like a halo.
Yeah, it's like a halo. It's a telephone halo. All right, so we got a bunch of paranormal fun just waiting to crack off here with you guys.
You do?
I do. What? How you doing?
Sweet. I'm behind as usual.
Well, yeah, but that's all right. That's why we love you, Don. Well, this is different. Where the hell did this come from? Oh, yeah. This is one I was going to discuss tonight. Don, this is something I was going to discuss tonight.
Okay,
and
sweet.
I mentioned it last night.
Oh.
Now, if Lewis is Lewis
You're
in here?
not going to say anything about the elevator game, are you?
I'm going to say about 10 different games.
Oh, gosh.
Here's the thing. I don't think that by virtue that the legends for a lot of these are extrapolated from ancient rituals and stuff, and I don't believe that at all. But what I do believe is that if people do something and they believe it's going to work, it probably won't, or it probably will. Sorry, Brent, but go Badgers. Badgers? What are you talking about? Is there a college football game going on against the Gophers or something? I don't know.
Where'd the Gophers come from? I'm lost. You guys must have had a
college
conversation.
football. No,
Oh.
he said go Badgers. I don't know. Is that a
case,
college team or something?
Go Ducks.
Cheeseheads. Oh, Cheeseheads.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
Gotcha.
I lived close to right next to Wisconsin, so
Yeah.
I have no malice for the Wisconsinites. They're a bunch of cheeseheads. They are not the best drivers, but other than that, they were good. They used to have yellow license
They
plates
drive
for the
like
state
Canadians.
for the state of Wisconsin.
Did they have little holes in them?
Yeah, well, no, but it was the yellow license plates, and our Minnesota joke was, "What do you get if you fail your driving test 3 times? You get a yellow license plate."
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, what do you do? Got to have those.
Stop telling jokes.
Well, yeah,
That's
obviously
my job.
It's
Stop.
not my. Well, no,
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
No.
Go Meese. Yes, Cha-Cha. Good one. Go Meese.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we got the first thing I'm going to cover is these 10 paranormal games that people try to play to elicit some kind of paranormal response. And do they work? Well, if you believe they work, to a degree. And that's the dangerous part of them. So we're going to cover these tonight. Had to clear my pipes there. I'm a little froggy already. So I'm sure most of you guys have heard of different ones.
No.
Well, everybody's heard of like Bloody Mary, for instance.
Oh, okay. Candyman, Bloody Mary.
Yeah, and I don't know how it became popular with kids, but that was around when I was a kid, I know, and it was probably around long before that. But what a creepy idea. So mirrors are used for scrying and stuff, but that's not the first one. We'll get to that one if it's on this list. But it says, tired of playing the usual board games? Want to do something challenging and thrilling? This article is coming from wonderlist.com, by the way. Want to do something thrilling and challenging? Why not delve into the paranormal and see what's in store for you? You don't have to be a skeptic or a believer to play these games. Just be a thrill-seeking enthusiast, and you're good to go. Whether this list would encourage you to explore the supernatural dimension or convince you to avoid it would be up to you. Just a warning, though. Those who've tried these vowed to never try them again. Mm-hmm. It's all fun and games until you realize you're playing with a demon or an evil entity, and life would never be the same again. Probably. It says probably.
Probably.
The top 10 paranormal games and that are not for the faint-hearted. The first one is called Three Kings, and I've never heard of this one before. Said this game became popular after Fable Forge posted about it on a subreddit called No Sleep. Excuse me. It's said that this game enables the player to gain access to another dimension. You'll have to play this game in a large room, preferably in a basement without a single flash of light coming through. Also, you'll be needing a pack of candles, 2 large mirrors, 3 chairs, and an object from your childhood. See, that does really sound like a spell, though. It really does.
It does.
When you're done setting up everything, leave the door of the basement open and go to your bedroom, and set the alarm to exactly 3:30 a.m. before you snooze off. If the alarm goes off at exactly 3:30 a.m. and things inside the basement remained as they are, then you can proceed with the game. You need to be seated at your throne at exactly 3:33 a.m. with your lighted candle in hand. Do not let the candle go out, and protect it from the fan behind you using your body. Once seated, look straight ahead into the darkness and never look into the mirrors nor the candle. At this point, you'll start to feel and hear a presence.
I bet.
Some accounts stated that it is felt like having a conversation with your conscience or an entity that manifests as a part of you. It will talk to you about your past and your unresolved issues. Some have claimed that this ritual is some kind of psychological experiment that puts you in a lucid dream. Mm-hmm. Whether you believe it, whether you believe you're talking to an entity from another dimension or it's nothing but a psychological effect, would be up to your judgment. So what do you? I mean, how do you finish? See, that's the ridiculous part.
Yeah.
So if you are opening a portal, how do you close it? That's the part that's dangerous. Let's say you are opening a gateway of sorts, and of course, mirrors are used for scrying. They're used for as portals by some entities. Not all mirrors are portals, but all mirrors could be portals. So what if you're actually activating these portals and then you walk away? Like, oh, thanks for the message, Grandpa. I'm going to bed now.
Yeah, please wander about as you will.
meanwhile, a slew of demons start.
Hey guys, come on!
Building
He left the door open.
Building a fort under your steps.
Yeah, no doubt. The spirits under the stairs.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that's just
sounds like a great idea.
So they tell you how to start it. They don't tell you how to finish it, and that's where it's dangerous. It does ring of a spell in a very strong sense.
Yes.
And that concerns me.
An unfinished spell.
Yeah, an unfinished spell, exactly. Yeah, because spells by themselves, they have a beginning, middle, and end, and the end. But this one has a beginning and middle, but then it shuts off. So it doesn't just go away. You should not open a portal you can't close. Mm-hmm. 9 is the closet game. This is one I've heard of before, and it's the objective of the closet game is to summon not just a spirit or a ghost, but a demon. Oh, let me try that again. But a demon. Basically, all you need to do is step inside a pitch black closet, hold up an unlighted match, and say, "Show me the lights or leave me in darkness." Once you begin to hear any whispering, light the match immediately. In the event that you fail to light the match right away, after hearing the whisper, it is said that something will grab you from behind and drag you to eternal darkness.
Into hell.
The same thing would happen if you got curious enough to turn around and see what's behind you. If you didn't do any of those mistakes, open the closet door with your match lit in your hand and slowly step outside. From then on, you must always make sure to have the lights on wherever you go. You look inside your closet since it's now permanently haunted by a demon.
Yeah, you think? That's a great idea. I think
Yeah.
I'll go home and call up Sully right now.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. So there's another bad example of things to do. All right, next one.
To not do.
Yeah, a bad example of things to do. Yeah, definitely not to do.
Oh, my God.
We are not advocating any of these, ladies and gentlemen. As a matter of fact, I would encourage you not to do any of these. But
Just let me sit back and heckle him.
yeah, exactly.
Well, there's a good idea.
Yeah. So that's horrible. That is a horrible one. I got to look at the clock here. Make sure we are okay. All right. Coming up is,
We
of
are
course,
not okay.
well, that's a manner of speaking, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
This one is Bloody Mary, of course, which is what we just covered. Now, this is real popular with school age kids. Most often it's pretty harmless. I don't think, of the millions of times it's used, it probably is only, I've only ever heard of just a handful of times where something really freaky happened. And some of it, I'm sure, is just manifestation or imagination by young minds, because it's a creepy thing to do. But Bloody Mary is a folklore legend that is believed to be the vengeful spirit of a witch. In order to summon her, you'll have to chant Bloody Mary 3 times in front of a mirror while holding up a lighted candle. After that, what's left for you to do is wait for a woman covered in blood to appear before you. Some have stated that participants of this game may have to endure Bloody Mary's wrath, which included getting strangled, cursed, and getting their souls taken. Come on, kids. It's good fun at every slumber party.
Jump on in. Have a pillow.
Absolutely. It's fun for the whole family. Recommended for ages 6 and up. No.
Comes in now. Now it comes in pink.
Batteries not included. Evil spirits available at no extra charge. Just a terrible idea. Terrible, terrible idea. Don't do Bloody Mary. Do I believe that there's a Bloody Mary? No, I don't. But I believe that whenever you're looking into a mirror in darkness with just a candle, there's a I'm trying to remember the name of psychomantium. Is an old practice that dates back to ancient Egypt. And psychomantium is where you stare in a low-lit room into a mirror to connect with spirits from the other side.
If you want to kick it up a notch, snort a bunch of nutmeg first.
Well, yeah, it can't hurt. I don't know what nutmeg does for you, but...
It's a hallucinogenic.
Oh, it is? By snorting it?
Yeah, so
How use it
Nostradamus.
I use it in pie.
Nostradamus used to, that's how he used to do his prophetic stuff. He'd toot up on nutmeg, and then
Toot up.
and then he dropped
Choo-choo.
India ink into the water into his thing, and he'd scry into water.
Well, there you go.
But there's not much difference between water and a mirror. They do the same. They have the same effect.
Right. But yeah, I think it's just a really bad. These are a collection of 10 very bad ideas to play around with.
Wait, Mog, start what rumors?
Don't start rumors.
It's
don't.
true. I don't know what he's talking about.
Joanne Brown, paranormal investigator. How you doing? Good to see you. That's a new name for me, I think. I don't know. I'm terrible with names, so if I ever act like you're new and you're not, please forgive me. It's my own personal dyslexia.
He's new.
I'm new every show. Believe me. It's like I've never been here.
Did Belle change her name back to Belle Prepper? She did. I liked Portal Hug Monster.
She was Belle Prepper, Portal Hug Monster last night.
Oh, was she? She has an identity issue?
Or multiple personalities. We're not sure.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the portal. Here's a drink for you.
That's why she fits right in here. So it says there are numerous accounts of people sharing their experiences with a few expressing their disappointments with the lack of thrilling occurrences, and others expressing their horror upon encountering the infamous spirit. Bloody Mary is quite popular with a few movie adaptations floating around.
You think?
I think.
Hey, you know what? The other day, sorry to cut in, but the other day we were talking about our friends from Australia.
Right.
And who is the one we haven't seen in a while?
I saw him last night, actually.
Yeah, he's here
Aussie
tonight.
Tiger.
Aussie Tiger, nice to see you.
I told him that last night.
We talked about you the other day. We're like, what happened to him?
That's what I told him last night. Like, Don and I were just wondering where you'd gotten to.
He was kidnapped by a dingo.
He was dragged off by a dingo.
He was drinking a Foster's.
He was having a Foster's, and a dingo came up and dragged him into the outback.
All of our Australians are going to come over and just murder us.
We love our Australian fans and listeners. We do.
By the way, Cade's here.
Oh, Cade, how you doing, brother? I sent you a link on Skype. I hope you like that. I thought it was perfect. Let's go to the elevator to another world.
Oh, here we go.
Elevator to another world,
Lewis,
ladies and gentlemen.
This is all about you.
Yeah, Lewis, this is all yours. He's probably not even here to enjoy it. Like, he's been begging me to talk about these on the show forever. And now I am, and where is he? Never mind.
He might be in the elevator.
He might be.
In another world.
This game originated from Korea, and performing it supposedly takes you to a different world via an elevator. All you have to do is find a building with at least 10 floors and has an elevator. Make sure there'd be no one else riding the elevator aside from you before you proceed with the ritual. Once you step inside, you'll have to do a 4-2-6-2-10-5 combo on the elevator's buttons. On the 5th floor, a woman would enter, but you should never look at her, nor should you speak to her. Afterwards, press the button for the 1st floor, and at this point, the elevator would begin ascending to the 10th floor instead of going down to the 1st. Upon arriving at the 10th floor, you may get off the elevator to explore this different world. The woman would ask, "Where are you going?" but you should never answer. After walking around, you may return to the real world by going inside the same elevator and using the same 4-2-6-2-10-5 combo. In the event that you should pass out during the game, you'd most likely find yourself waking up inside your own home. But make sure to look around, since it may not be the same home anymore.
Why 4-2-6-2-10-5?
I don't know. It's just how it's done.
Huh.
It's the recipe for apparently dimensional travel, is what it sounds like.
Huh. No third. So only 10 floors, right?
At least 10 floors. It has to have at least 10 floors.
Gotcha.
So you only use up to 10, though, for the game, apparently.
My God.
I don't know. Strange.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to number 6, ladies and gentlemen. Let me look at the clock here. We have 5 minutes. We should be...
Wow.
We'll get through this one anyway. So this one's called the Hooded Man. And what the Hooded Man is, the Hooded Man ritual is quite similar to the elevator ritual in the sense that it takes you to a world different from ours. This one requires you to perform a cleansing ritual prior to starting the game, like burning a sage or spreading salt on your front door. When the night comes, go to a room where there's a telephone. Detailed instructions can be found online, but you'd basically be making a call for a cab. If you have succeeded, you'll be seeing a black cab parked outside of your house. Exit the building, climb into the cab's empty back seat, lock the door behind you, and go to sleep. If you awaken and your watch reads exactly 3:30 a.m., then you'll find yourself falling asleep for a second time. Once you wake up, the cab will be on an unfamiliar highway, and you'll notice the hooded man behind the wheel. Some accounts have stated that other passengers may get inside the cab and sit with you, but you should never pay any attention to them. If you want to end your ride, just lean closer towards the hooded man's ear and whisper, "I've reached my destination."
Oh.
You'll fall asleep and wake up in your house, after which you'll have to go to the telephone, dial a number, and say, "Thank you for the ride." Do another cleansing ritual afterwards. Regarding the cab ride, it's up to you whether you want to continue the ride for a longer period of time. But many have advised against it, since the world gets more absurd as the ride goes on. And the worst case scenario is that you might not be able to escape that world anymore.
Wow.
Yikes. That's plenty weird, huh?
Yeah. How much does the cab cost?
I don't know. It didn't sound like it cost
To
anything.
another world.
It's like a free Uber to hell.
Free Uber. It's a one-way ticket to midnight.
Yeah. So next one is one man hide and seek.
Do we have time?
I think we probably do. I didn't take that long. We got 3 minutes.
Okay. Well, we can.
These are all pretty quick.
Slap out another one. Yep.
One man hide and seek, which originated from Japan and called Hitori Kakurembo, is a paranormal game wherein you'll be playing a game of hide and seek against a spirit-possessed doll.
Oh.
What you'll need to do is take a stuffed doll, remove all of its stuffing, and replace it with rice, along with a piece of your fingernail.
No.
Sew the doll's opening up with a red thread and wrap the remaining thread around the doll. You'll have to give the doll a name, place it in a tub filled with water, and proceed to your hiding place. Turn off all the lights and switch the television on. Take a mouthful of salt water, but don't swallow it. Get out of your hiding place and start looking for the doll, which is probably not in the tub anymore. Once you find the door, pour salt water over it, allow it to dry, and then burn it and discard the remnants. Also, take your note of the static in the television during the game, since it would warn you about potential unwanted visitors wandering around. Well, that's creepy as hell.
That is creepy as hell.
That's a whole ritual.
Joanne Brown said she is this the one you said you did and nothing happened? Thank God.
Oh, okay.
Why would you play with a haunted doll?
Well, I don't think
Why would you put a piece of you in a doll that you want to be haunted?
That's making a pact. That's a pact of flesh.
That's not a good thing.
Yeah, that's a pact at that point.
Goodness. She says yes, this is the one she did.
Well, I'm glad nothing happened for you.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
glad the doll was still in the tub.
Don't swallow the salt water either. Oh my God.
Yeah. Eesh. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Another not good idea here on the Paranormal Portal. We're
advocating not good ideas tonight.
Tonight we're discussing really poor ideas.
Poor choices for your life.
Yeah. Tonight's show is about poor choices in the paranormal. Toying with anything like this, I think, is extraordinarily irresponsible. We just don't know anything about this stuff, you know. Yeah. And even people that claim they do don't know anything about this stuff. I'll guarantee it.
Unless they've actually had something happen.
Even then, all you know is what happened. But
Right.
there's so much that we don't understand. And when you're playing with stuff you don't understand, you're really baking a cake from hell. You know, I mean, it's just not going to be a good deal. Now, granted, most of the time nothing happens, and that's fine. But are you really ready to deal with if it does?
No, I
Is
would say
anybody?
No,
I'm not.
Your psyche's just not ready for a doll to come alive, and Chucky's bride. And
Right,
kind of
exactly. I mean, I've been dealing with paranormal my whole life, here and there, and I still wouldn't mess with this crap. Are you kidding me? This is like 10 really bad ideas.
God, why would you do that, Joanne? Joanne says I collect haunted dolls.
Oh,
Gosh.
wow. You probably should be on the show and tell us about this, because
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
that's a good idea, Joanne.
Break time.
You'll have to get in touch with us via email, paranormalportalradio@gmail.com. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a break, and we'll be right back with more of the show. Don't go away. Hi, everybody. Did you miss us?
Ha.
We are back. We are back for you. And thank you for being here for us. And this is a great, great time, as always, to be here with Don. Great to have you here tonight, brother. I'm glad you're here.
I am honored and just ecstatic to be here.
Great. I'm
He's
ecstatic
he's
you're
like,
here, too.
great.
I'm ecstatic.
Like, great. You're still here, dang it.
No, it's great. It is wonderful. It's, otherwise I'm sitting here talking to myself and it just feels weird. It just feels weird. And I know you guys are out there and stuff, but it's nice to have that instant feedback that Don provides and that special insight that he brings to every show
Called sarcasm.
and that love and support that he provides.
That's empathy.
So, and my God, that beard, what can you say?
It's so pretty.
It's just lovely. It's like a hair waterfall right out of your lips.
Yes.
It is.
Catches everything that comes out of my lips.
I'm sure it does.
It's like,
What was I going to say? I was going to say, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for all of the encouragement. I was reluctant to release Emotional Buffet, which is the
I don't know why people love that song.
I know, but I just wanted to have the best pristine copy of it. That really was never recorded with the intent of being a release song. It was just kind of a recording to
one of those old archived B-sides.
Right. Well, not even that. It was kind of a recording just to map out the song so that we could come back at it later with a real diligent recording effort, and we never got to it.
Is that the one? Is that the one you started to remaster? You and James?
Yeah, we did. But there was something with the bass line. He did a different bass line, and it was really, really cool.
Yeah.
But it kind of changed the feel of the song a little bit. So I was going to use that redid bass line for something else, and I never did use it to redo the song again. But that was the intent. But James is just a brilliant bass player, a friend of mine. But yeah, that was the intent there. But that didn't happen either. So, but I did release it on Bandcamp, ladies and gentlemen. Bandcamp or BrentThomas.bandcamp.com if you want to get a copy of it. Thank you so much for those of you that enjoyed that song. And it sold one today. That's nice. One of them sold. So it's been played a bunch of times too, which is cool. So what?
We just have some twisted people.
We do?
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Well, Tony says Don puts the sauce in sausage.
Ooh.
You know where the sausage goes, right? Never.
I'm not even going to bite on that. Yeah, another unintentional one. It sounds like I'm clever as hell, ladies and gentlemen, but honest to God, I plan those out. I don't have any plan when I'm doing that. They just come out. So go figure. There you have it. Make sure to keep it family friendly in here. Although innuendo is usually okay. We are going through a list of paranormal games that people play. And we are encouraging you and any that might be listening in the future not to play these. Because I think that anytime you encounter or partake in a ritual of any kind, you're rolling the dice. You're really rolling the dice. And
come up snake eyes.
Hey, let's summon a demon, kids. It's like, no.
Gosh, Barney, what do we do now?
Why is his eyes bleeding, Mom? Well, there you go. So
Hey,
just don't do it. But anyway, it's all about information. So we're going to talk about another one now. This is number 4 on the list of 10 that we're going through. And this one's called Dry Bones Ritual. That sounds lovely.
Yes.
All right, let's see what this one is. Similar to Hitori Kakurembo, Hitori Kakurembo, Dry Bones is a ritual wherein you'd be playing a game of hide and seek, but instead of a doll, you'd be playing with a demon. Well, in case the doll wasn't enough of a challenge, ladies and gentlemen, might as well upgrade. Go to a demon. Playing with the demon doesn't sound like a good idea, but thrill seekers are in it for the hopes that their wishes will be fulfilled once they win the game. Yeah, you're never going to win that. That's never going to be a win for you.
And people wonder why I'm so misanthropic.
Yeah. I'm not sure what that means, but yeah.
It's somebody who hates people.
Oh. So what you need for this game is a bathroom, a mirror, a candle, and some matches. Begin the game at exactly 12:01 a.m. After ensuring that you're alone and you've closed all the doors and windows of your home. Go to the bathroom and stare at your reflection in the mirror while listening to your surroundings. If you hear anything, get out of the house immediately, since it means that the demon's already there. If it's completely silent, then you may proceed by thinking of something you really want as a prize. Make sure that your wish is not harmful to anyone. Well, it's going to be harmful for you, I'll bet you.
Yeah,
anything.
No doubt.
Light the candle with the match, but don't blow the match out yourself. Wait for it to burn out on its own, and then lie down on the floor and say, I am aware of your presence, and I welcome you into my home. Come now. After that, go to the largest room in your house and wait for a moaning noise, which would indicate that the hide and seek has begun. If you manage to hide from your demon until 3 a.m., then you win. You must say, thank you for playing, but please leave now. You are no longer welcome. The demon will then leave once you hear a groan. Expect the prize outside your front door the next morning. Sure, getting a prize is great, but you might not want to risk playing this game once you figure out the consequence of losing. Guess what the consequence of losing, Don, would be?
I would imagine your life.
You lose your soul.
There you go.
Yeah, this is like a bad episode of Supernatural. Let's go to the crossroads, Sam.
Sure, we'll go see the demon.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Shayton, where are you?
I love Supernatural. It was a great show, and it is a great show.
I've never seen it.
It's it's campy and fun, but it's also got some good stories in it. I don't know. It's based on a lot of lore and a lot of legend and a lot of exaggeration, but it's a fun watch if you can suspend reality. Which, if you can watch things like Buffy, you're in. And I watched Buffy back in the day. So
Does it count if I watch Charmed just because Alyssa Milano was on it?
Yeah, no, I think that puts you in the ballpark too.
Oh, dang it.
Charmed is good. All right. So Daruma-san, or the bath game, is another ritual originating from Japan. It involves summoning a ghost which will most likely follow you all day long and try to catch you. In order to summon said ghost, go to your bathroom before bedtime, strip yourself naked, fill the tub with water, and turn off the lights.
Yes.
Climb inside the tub and position yourself in front of the faucet. Close your eyes and begin washing your hair while chanting the words, Daruma-san fell down, over and over. You'll see a mental image of a Japanese woman standing in front of the bathtub before she falls on a rusty tap which impales her through the eye. Continue the chant until you finish washing your hair. Once you feel a presence near you, ask out loud, why did you fall in the bathtub? But don't wait for an answer with your eyes kept shut. Carefully stand up, get a towel, exit the bathroom, and close the door behind you. Leave the bath water overnight and get some sleep because the real game will begin the next day. You'll be feeling a presence constantly following you. Do not allow her to catch you. By putting some distance between you and her in order to capture her, gaze over your right shoulder and shout, Kita, while doing a karate chopping motion with your hand. If you don't do this properly, or if you fail to catch her before midnight, expect her to follow you into your dreams. Ooh. Well, another bad idea. So,
well, at least the last one, the one before this, had a closing. It says you're no longer...
Yeah, you're no longer welcome
here. There's a
yeah.
closing to that.
Yeah. What if the demon disagrees, though? I am welcome here.
I beg to differ.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you got to deal with that. So here's another one, Charlotte's Web.
Oh.
You might be familiar with the popular children's book, Charlotte's Web, but have you tried playing the game named after it? In this game, you'll be calling for the spirit of Charlotte Webster, a little girl from the 1400s whose mother has been accused as a witch and burned at the stake.
Nice.
If you dislike the idea of playing paranormal games by yourself, then this might be the game for you, since it requires 2 players. You and your partner has to go into a dark room with a large mirror, bring a flashlight and a toy, preferably one that a little girl would like. Set up 2 chairs in front of the mirror and a table behind the chairs. Place the toy on top of the table. Make sure the toy's reflection can be seen in the mirror. You should both take your seats and make sure no other light comes through the room except the ones coming from your flashlights. Say the words, "We want to play Charlotte's Web," in unison. Wait for Charlotte as she appears in the mirror to take the toy. You may now converse with her or ask her questions, and once you're done, say, "Goodbye, Charlotte," with your partner, and that's it. Those who've tried this game claim that Charlotte can be a sweetheart, especially if you get on her good side, or if she likes the toy you offered. Don't play this game in an attempt to try to piss her off, though, because accounts say that Charlotte throwing a tantrum would be the last thing you'd ever want to see. Yeah, I suppose that's true. Let's go to Midnight Game, which is number 1. The Midnight Game. The Midnight Game is probably the most popular game on the list. If you find the other paranormal games unchallenging and you want to get to the extremes, then this dangerous game might just be the one for you. The Midnight Game was believed to be an old pagan ritual used as a punishment to those who disobeyed the religion. The instructions on how to play the game can easily be found online, but the gist of it is that you have to summon the Midnight Man and walk around your house while making sure you don't get caught by him. If you manage to avoid the Midnight Man until 3:33 a.m., then you have won the game. The game is not that complicated since the procedures are clear and easy enough to follow. What's more is that this can be played by more than one person, so if you're too scared to do it alone, but you still want to do it anyway, you can just ask your friends to share the misery with you. Just keep in mind that most of the people who have played this game included a warning to never try this game. Some have experienced hallucinations. Some even left with permanent mental scars. This game was so popular that it was even adapted into a film. I never saw that film, I guess, but you'd think they would link the film. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Those are 10 paranormal games that you probably don't want to ever mess with.
Joanne Brown said she tried this one too.
How'd it go?
I
mean, that's what I'm asking.
yes.
Joanne, let us know. How did it go?
Why don't you just call?
Well, because we want her to be a guest on the show. I'm just curious. I don't want her to give it all away.
She said nothing happened.
Oh, well, that's good. You got lucky 2 times then. Good deal. And again, I'm sure 99% of the time nothing's going to happen on any of these, but the one time.
Kita!
Yeah.
Now with karate chop action.
Yeah. And kung fu grip.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know.
Wow.
I hope you enjoyed that, though. It's a little bit different for the show. I don't know. I wouldn't recommend any of them. Again, I'm not encouraging anybody to try any of these. These are the portal is a discussion, and this is tonight's discussion. Part of tonight's discussion, anyway.
Wow.
But
I don't know why anybody would try any of those. And that's just me being me, I mean,
well, yeah.
I just don't like to call things to me. I'd rather
exactly.
stay away.
That's exactly right.
I mean, that might be why I've never had a paranormal experience that I can remember.
Well, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, do what you're going to do. Do whatever you want. It's up to you. It's your call for sure. But I'm just telling you that anytime you enter into a communication of sorts, or an accord, or a binding of any kind, you got to be ready to face those consequences.
Yeah.
And those consequences can be absolutely horrible. And the thing is that if you bring something into your home, it may not even be about you.
Yeah.
It might become about somebody else in your home. Like, if you have a small child, or if you have
Right.
A loved one, they may become the target just because. these things are not.
They're not particular in who they mess with, and I wouldn't imagine that just because you call them that they're necessarily bound to you, unless of course you put a piece of fingernail in a doll, then it's attuned to you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a binding at that point. But no, they aren't. I mean, once you bring something into your space,
Yeah.
you're left with the consequences of that. And the point is that many of these games will open a portal, of course, of a type. And if you don't know explicitly how to close that,
Right.
then you're dealing with the possibility of something coming at any time after that.
Right. Rachel gets it right. Says, "I'll stick to calling a pizza to me, maybe hot wings if I'm brave." I like the way you think. That's awesome.
That is pretty good.
But I'd have to have the hot wings.
Of course you would, Dawn.
Yes.
No, that's just a cool list, though. I just stumbled on them.
Yeah,
Like, hey,
it
we
is
want to
kinda
talk
cool.
about that on the show.
That's kind of creepy, though. I mean, because people have actually tried these, obviously, kind of present company included. But like I said, I just don't know if I'd want to call something to me. I just
Right. I did the Bloody Mary thing when I was a kid, but
I don't know if I ever did that.
I was just at a friend's house and everybody was doing it, and so I took my turn and nothing happened. Thank God, because there was no way I was ready for something to happen. There's no way. Did you know that George Norrie's gotten into the dating scene, by the way?
What?
George Norrie's.
He threw his hat in the ring. He's like, paranormal dating.
Yeah.
Oh, you're kidding me.
I showed this on the show last night. I'm going to show it again because it just cracked me up.
You are not alone.
That's exactly what I laughed at. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Their tagline is "You are not alone." Ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for someone to date, looking for love
In all the wrong place.
in all the wrong places.
Here, check this mirror out. Call Bloody Mary 3 times. And you'll get a mate.
Yep. Well, paranormal date might be what you're looking for.
Oh,
God. You are not alone. That still cracks me up. And Don, you can pick
Wow.
from any one of these topics you're interested in. They have aligned singles by that.
Wow.
So there you go. George.
So I married an axe murderer.
George Norrie, syndicated host of Coast to Coast AM, heard on over 600 radio stations nightly, created Paranormal Date after seeing a need from his massive and loyal audience. Yeah.
Because we're all stable.
Yeah. George Norrie, otherwise known as Cupid. Old Cupid Norrie is at it, ladies and gentlemen. He's ready to accept your credit card.
Wow.
In order to help you find love.
Wow.
No, I can't blame the guy. I think he's diversifying his portfolio, and this is. I don't, however, believe that George Norrie's probably programming dating sites. I think they're using his name, and that's cool. I mean, good for him. It's a cool angle. Hell, if you can be a farmer and find a farmer date, then why not be a paranormal enthusiast and find a paranormal enthusiast date?
Oh no!
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I just had to bring it up again because I knew you hadn't seen that. You hadn't seen last night's show.
That's friggin' hilarious.
Yep, but George Norrie will help you find love.
Paranormal.
He's like the Captain Stubing of the paranormal world.
No. The love boat. Soon we'll be making another.
Hey, don't give me a strike. Did you know
Uh-oh.
that they're like actually the Minion did a video of YouTube of him singing a song from like Mother Goose Club, and it was on YouTube, and he got a copyright strike.
Really?
He got a copyright strike. Are you freaking kidding me?
Let's just ruin this 3 or 4
Let's
year old.
let's just ruin childhood, shall we?
Exactly.
Hey, there's money to be made there, you bunch of pigs. God. I don't care. That kind of stuff is just like,
You're
are you
absolutely
freaking
right.
kidding?
It's stupid, but
A kid singing a song is now grounds for a copyright strike, ladies and gentlemen. There is nothing sacred left in the world. Yeah. So, I'm just venting a little bit. I just heard about that. Yeah, it is. It's
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a kid singing a cute little
He's
kid
singing
song.
a kid song.
It's not like it's freaking Nirvana and they're losing royalties on it. It's a freaking kid song. But these people are pigs. So, whatever. So that's George Norrie's deal, Don.
Wow.
Thought
Wow.
that was pretty cool.
I don't know. So what were the categories again? Can you bring up the categories? There's like
I
Bigfoot
can
and
if I open it
aliens
again.
and
Yeah.
Bigfoot and aliens.
Uh,
So maybe we should poll our current audience and ask them, if Dawn were to do this, what category I should go with.
Huh?
What categories? What categories should Dawn sign up for?
Okay.
What categories are there?
All right, hold on.
It's like-
Here it is. Let's see.
okay.
All right, so here's your
Okay,
categories.
so there are the categories: life after death, ghost stories, UFOs, science, conspiracy, or Bigfoot. So yeah, I wonder what people would say if I signed up for that. What I should go for?
I'm
Aussie
thinking-
Tiger says conspiracy. Don't do it, Don. Thank you, Cha Cha. For some reason I felt a connection with you.
UFOs.
UFOs.
I think that's your
life after death, ghost stories, UFOs.
UFOs
science,
are
conspiracy.
something that you've been into
Yeah,
for
that's true. That's
the
true.
longest, I think, of all the paranormal
Oh, I
phenomena.
wonder if I can get an alien named Crescent.
What?
Okay, so there was that artist that does the alien art, and he has an alien girlfriend named Crescent. Remember I talked about that?
You might have. I don't know. I don't
Gracious.
remember it.
Why am I the ones that remember the shows?
Well, you remember what you said. I didn't remember what you said.
But we showed that some of the pictures, and apparently he's had repeated liaisons with this particular alien named.
Oh, this is a long
Crescent.
time ago. Yeah.
It was a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah, we were upstairs still in the old studio, right?
Chris Jarvis says, "Dawn, with that beard, you need a ghost of a Norse girl." Yes. Sure, why not? Yeah.
Helga.
There we go.
Helga. Helga the bread queen. Yeah, there you go, ladies and
For
gentlemen.
some reason, never mind.
I don't know.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Your
So-
shirt is putting what?
What?
Somebody said, Brent, your shirt is putting me in a trance. Really? It's a
it's
sweater.
probably the lights on the sweater.
Yeah, I don't know.
Your pretty purple lights.
I gotta look at this and see what are people seeing. It's just a pattern, really. I don't know. It's my white noise shirt.
Why is it-
TV white noise. No, it's just kind of a knit pattern, I guess. It's a sweater. I don't know. It's not bad
Okay,
in person,
cool.
right?
It's not for me. It looks good on you.
Well, yeah,
The Brentmeister.
yeah. It doesn't have any.
It does
band
kind of
names
look
on
digital on
It
the
does,
screen.
doesn't it? I
yeah.
guess now that I'm looking at it, I kind of see that. Sorry about that. Don't mean to be putting people in trances.
Watch the Paranormal Portal.
What do we got here? Anything new and interesting? Let's see. I'm just looking at Coast to Coast here, Don. Did you have anything? Oh, that's why I found it. It was there. Alien Snowfest in January. We can meet George Norrie at Alien Snowfest in January, Don.
I thought you said Snorefest.
Well, it might be. I don't know. I like George Norrie. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong,
no,
ladies and gentlemen. He's been at it a long time, and he's part of a lot of different communities in the paranormal and ufology and stuff. And yeah, he's made a good living at it. Don't get me wrong. I understand that, but I have nothing against him, so to speak. I just think that it's sometimes funny. The whole dating thing is just that. I just don't imagine George Norrie probably cares too much about that. And here's the thing. I came from a company where we had a lot of agreements with a lot of celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
And those celebrities would care about just about whatever you threw money at them to care about.
Yep.
All of a sudden it became a real emotional issue for them. And it's a game. It's psychology. And I don't blame the guy for making a living at it. And it's not a bad concept in and of itself that if you meet somebody, you want to meet somebody that has the same interests as you in a large sense can really create a good relationship. So
right.
the foundation is there, and I'm not making fun of him nor that concept. It's just, I'm pretty sure George Norrie is probably not getting a lot of fan letters like, "Hey, George, can you help me find love?" Which is how that all was all looking on that site. It's like, after lots of requests from his enormous audience, it's like, I don't think people are writing into Coast to Coast about wanting to find love. You know, so that's where it just becomes cheesy to me. It's like, oh, come on. So that's just some marketer writing some shtick for a narrative. And be it as it be what it is. That's fine. I don't begrudge them that, but I think that if you look at advertising in general, it's a psychological game. It's just psychology, and they try to build emotion through flowery speeches and words and images. I mean, everything is so well calculated. But everything every word is so carefully chosen, and every image is perfectly chosen to elicit an emotional response, and so. It's that part I hope our society grows through that, because I think that's also the problem with why people are so incredibly emotionally charged over things like politics and stuff. They're being sucked in by a narrative, and it's just another form of marketing. So
I can't believe he's in the
what
game. That's funny.
Oh, George Norrie?
Norrie,
Yeah, I know. It is. It surprised the hell out of me too. I ran into this last night and went, "Oh, you got to be kidding me!" So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. George Norrie is now a matchmaker. He is now trying to bring people together in love.
In love.
Love is kind and love is warm, and George Norrie will get you there.
Oh, that's our break.
It's our break. Oh my God. That came kind of surprise. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. 1 hour down, 1 to go. We'll be right back.
Play their games. Everybody loves to place their bets. They don't understand the price I paid. They don't care to comprehend. Trace their lines upon my body, dripping scars across my heart. Raging anger boils inside me, and their lies keep falling apart.
I can't see you, Mommy. Where are you? I've never sensed anything like it. Carol Ann is not like those she's with. They're attracted to the one thing about her that is different from themselves. Her life force. It is very strong. It gives off its own illumination. It is a light that implies life and memory of love and home and earthly pleasures. Something they desperately desire, but can't have anymore. Right now, she's the closest thing to that.
Poltergeists are usually associated with an individual. Hauntings seem to be connected with an area. A house, usually.
Poltergeist disturbances are of fairly short duration, perhaps a couple of months. Hauntings can go on for years.
Welcome back, everybody. Hour number 2 is now on the way. It's being delivered fresh, right from the oven, straight to you.
Sweet.
Piping hot. Or at least lukewarm. Microwaved or something. I don't know. Microwave leftovers. I don't know. We'll see how it all turns out. The idea, though, is that you'll be thoroughly entertained by the time this is all over.
And apparently hungry.
Maybe that. Don, how you doing?
Doing good.
Good.
Feeling a little lighter now.
What happened, Don?
Well, we take those breaks for reasons, right?
We got them for a reason, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes things just get a moving. So you have to do some moving of your own.
Oh, boy.
That's how it rolls here at the Portal, ladies and gentlemen. The phone lines are open if anybody wants to call in. 720-923-0500. Again, 720-923-0500 if you want to be a part of tonight's show. We would, of course, love to hear from you. So feel free to call in and share your paranormal goodness with all of us.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, so we were talking about the cab game. And then, you said you make the call and then you get in the black cab that pulls up.
Oh, right.
And all I could think of is like MIBs.
MIBs?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, yeah, go ahead. Get in there. Yeah. The Hooded Man. That's
Sharon Spears says, love my Paranormal Portal sweat shoe. What's
shirt?
Sweatshirt. Okay. Thank you, Sharon. I appreciate that you got one, and it really helps us a bunch. Thank you so much.
Brent, is the song available for download? Yes.
It is. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's if you go to brentthomas.bandcamp.com. Brent Thomas, all one word, .bandcamp.com. Let me put that in there. brentthomas.bandcamp.com. And it's called Emotional Buffet. Buffet is the name of the song.
Can we sing that song?
Yeah, because I promise you I won't sue anybody.
Are you sure? Because you got copyright.
But I'm not broken yet. It's true. I'm not.
All right. I'm so happy.
It's called Emotional Buffet because it was just, most of the songs that I've written were on the tail end of really some of my great choices in relationships. So Emotional Buffet was just
I understand that statement.
a lot of selfishness and just take whatever you need because it's all about you.
Cha-Cha, that's called bacon.
What?
Cha-Cha says, I love my paranormal pasties.
Yeah, they're not on the list, Cha-Cha. I don't know what you're wearing and thinking they're Paranormal Portal pasties, but they weren't from our store. It might be Fredericks of Hollywood or something. I don't know. But anyway, let's continue on.
Yes.
Bacon. All right, so what do we got, Don? You said you had something.
Yeah, I got something. Let's go
Take
with
us away, Don.
Let's
Hour
go
number
with
2.
The beginning of hour number 2. We start with Dawn.
It's all beard vision right now.
Mysteries of Canada. The phenomena of lost time in Canada. With all that beer up there, I'd lose a lot of time too. I was born in Vancouver, British Columbia in summer of 1992 and spent my first 4 years growing up in the so-called Rain City. In those days, many American movies and TV production companies shot their films in Vancouver and Toronto instead of LA and New York, apparently in an effort to take advantage of the lowly Canadian loon. I didn't write this. One project...
But you can still be held responsible for it.
Apparently so. It's not my fault they call their money loonies and toonies.
That's, well, just loonies, I think, right?
No, there's toonies.
Is there really?
Yeah, it's a $2 coin, yeah.
Oh.
One project which began filming in Vancouver near Squamish, British Columbia, when I was fresh out of the incubator, was a TV show called The X-Files.
What incubator?
I don't know. This science fiction drama revolved around two... Is this going to get serious here? Okay. Oh, okay. Well, okay. Who investigate unsolved cases which invariably involve monsters, aliens, supernatural entities, or other variety of unexplained phenomena. About a year ago, my dad informed me that he had made an unauthorized and regrettably invisible cameo appearance in the X-Files Season 1, Episode 21, entitled Tombs. That was a good one. In that episode, the titular, I hate that word. Titular Eugene Toombs, a mutant cannibal who subsists on human liver, murdered his psychologist in the house next to his parents.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah. My dad, while standing in the shadows of this property, watched as Mulder and Scully raced towards the house, guns drawn, in a vain attempt to save the hapless clinician from his inevitable fate. My dad's confession sparked an interest in the X-Files, an excellent program about which I had previously known nothing, and prompted me to binge watch more episodes than I care to admit. While watching the very first X-Files episode, I was introduced to the phenomena of missing time as an accompaniment to UFO encounters. In the X-Files episode, while driving on a quiet Oregon highway just outside of town haunted by a series of mysterious deaths, Mulder and Scully are beset by a blinding white light. Their car shuts down and rolls to a stop, whereupon Mulder, who had been looking at his watch when the incident occurred, observed that 9 minutes inexplicably elapsed since the flash, despite that it seemed to have taken mere moments before. He then explains to the bewildered Scully that unexplained time loss is frequently reported by UFO abductees. Thought this was about... Okay. Barney and Betty Hill's close encounter. Indeed, the phenomenon... You know what? Are we going to... Okay, here we go. All right. It's like they're going through some... Okay, so let's get back to Canada. Well, I guess Betty and Barney fall under that because I think... Weren't they coming back from Canada when that happened?
I don't know. That's
they were
a good
in New
question.
Hampshire.
Okay.
Okay, so let's get... Everybody knows about that one. The UFO of Verdun, Quebec. About a year ago, my friend and fellow researcher, Mr. Gary Mangiacopra, introduced me to a UFO sighting published in October 1952 issue of the magazine Fate. The event described, which took place exactly 1 decade before the Hills landmark encounter, is remarkable in that it constitutes what might be the first reported incident of lost time in association with UFO sightings. This brief report was submitted by one A.V. Haslett of Verdun, Quebec, a borough of Montreal situated on the banks of the St. Lawrence River. One Sunday afternoon in September 1951, Haslett began, I was fortunate to see two very bright objects traveling in a southerly direction of the St. Lawrence River in Verdun, Quebec. The first one seemed to be very large and appeared to me like a huge yo-yo on a red rubber band wrapped around it. Haslett continues, I looked at my watch to verify the time in case someone else reported the sighting. The time was 3:42 p.m., and I scanned the sky in case others appeared. Suddenly another appeared in the same part of the sky and headed in the same direction. This one was either flying higher or further away, and was the same shape as the first one. I again looked at my watch and was surprised to note that it was 4:42, exactly an hour after the previous object. Unless this author has misinterpreted the narrative, Haslett appears to have claimed that an entire hour elapsed between his two UFO sightings in the space of what, in his mind, seemed the blink of an eye. And if this is truly the case, then Haslett's story, to the best of the author's knowledge, may be the earliest report of missing time in association with a UFO sighting or alleged alien abduction, Canadian or otherwise. There you go. So that's missing time in Canada. Interesting. So he lost an hour just watching the skies to find another UFO.
Or did he?
Or did he?
Or did he just fall asleep?
Or was he picked up by the first light, and the second light was after they had returned and he became
left him,
conscious,
yeah.
and they're like, "We're outie. See ya.
Yeah, exactly.
Watch out for owls."
Ooh.
Dun, dun.
Bum, bum, bum.
Let's see here. Ufology from fringe field to serious science. And let's see, this is, for decades, academic researchers have dismissed the study of UFOs as pseudoscience. But as the evidence becomes harder and harder to ignore, some organizations are finally taking steps to make the field legitimate. For as long as humans have claimed they've seen UFOs, it's been a long, long time. The established scientific community has more or less considered them to be nonsense. While that has changed much, even as we're in the midst of a modern ufological renaissance, some renegade scientists are fighting to bring academic rigor to UFO research. Take Richard Hoffman, a 25-year information technology expert on contract with the U.S. Army's Material Command at Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville, Alabama. As a senior lead architect, he keeps the Army's digital infrastructure running and safe from attack. He's also a UFO researcher. The scientific community still has to deal with decades of stigma associated with what they see as pseudoscience or fringe science. Hoffman tells Popular Mechanics, many scientists do have interest in the phenomena, but are most often discouraged by others to embrace it, so they hide it. Hoffman is one of 3 board members who run a nonprofit scientific organization known as Scientific Coalition. My goodness. Scientific Coalition for UAP Studies, SCU. Unknown or Unidentified Aerial Phenomena, UAP, is the current rebranding of the UFO, Unidentified Flying Objects, a term that many believe carries too much cultural baggage. There are very few UFO organizations remaining today. Of the few that do remain, they have their unique contributions to the phenomena, but most are in data collection roles versus long-term scientific study of cases. The difference with the SCU, and it's a big one, is that it collects data that can be analyzed and studied by scientific experts, subsequently generating peer review papers published in journals and websites, said Hoffman. The SCU doesn't collect day-to-day UAP sighting reports, but rather digs into the more complex cases where multiple sensory data like radar tracks and videos may exist. The objective of legitimacy. The SCU played a significant role in studying the Nimitz UFO encounter when it released a nearly 300-page report on the incident. The requisite refresher. 2 years ago, the New York Times posted a study about Navy pilots who intercepted a strange object off the coast of San Diego in November 2004. They captured video of the objects with their F-18 gun cameras. Earlier this month, in Popular Mechanics published a story about several other military personnel who witnessed the Nimitz encounter on their radar systems and over their ship's video systems. The SCU paper examined the available public data and testimony available regarding the case and concluded that the results suggest that given the available information, the AAV's capabilities are beyond any known technology. To be clear, the SCU hasn't concluded that some non-human intelligence is responsible. Fully aware of the significant gaps in data, the organization has suggested that the public release all Navy records associated with this incident to enable a full, scientific, and open investigation is strongly recommended. The UFO research community is used to having scant data on UFO incidents. The vast majority of cases are purely anecdotal. When physical evidence or data is available, the well-established ufological conspiracy and myth-making machine begin to put that data in jeopardy. To date, there has been an extensive and well-funded scientific investigation of these phenomena, usually using state-of-the-art investigative tools and dedicated investigative teams. Robert Powell of the SCU board, an SCU board member and device physics expert, tells Popular Mechanic. The SCU is aiming to change that. Membership in the organization requires a resume submission, and a committee meets to thoroughly vet each member. Let's see. So who makes up the 69 active members of the SCU exactly? Mostly scientists, former military officers, and former law enforcement personnel with technical experience and investigative backgrounds. And the credentials are impressive. Try 2 current and 1 former NASA PhDs, and members with backgrounds that include Lockheed, NORAD, and the U.S. Space Command. To begin bridging the gap between UFO research community and the scientific community, the SCU has a team in place that will begin a peer review journal. Initial plans for the journal are a biannual, with the first published journal in the first half of 2020. Anyone wishing to submit a paper to the journal should contact the SCU. Fighting the stigma. Yet, for all promising progress, the SCU and similar organizations are still facing an uphill battle. The decades-long taboo surrounding UFOs and their study is thoroughly entrenched in established scientific and academic communities. They are, in essence, a dirty subject that can kill a professional career. In 1953, the Robertson Panel was formed to look at UFO reports at the behest of the government due to a string of odd aerial objects being spotted over Washington, D.C. the previous year. The panel concluded, 1953, that was when Eisenhower was in. Yeah, that was when Eisenhower was in office. The panel concluded in its classified report that UFOs pose no risk to national security and proposed that the National Security Council actively debunk UFO reports with the intention to ideologically inoculate the public to ensure UFOs become the subject of ridicule. The panel even recommended that UFO investigative and research groups be monitored by intelligence agencies for subversive activity. 17 years later, the infamous Condon Report, which was a product of the U.S. Air Force and the University of Colorado, was responsible for the death of the Air Force's UFO study, Project Blue Book. The report became embroiled in a controversy when a memorandum was released explaining that the report itself had to trick the public into thinking that the study was objective, but would ensure the final and official position is that all UFO incidents are hoaxes, delusion, and human error. Officially, UFOs became the subject of ridicule. Tie that in with the rise of New Age UFO prophets and cults, stories from spacemen from Venus, alien bases in the Antarctic, and merging UFO and conspiracy cultures, and those who use empirical data or maintain a rational or logical research approach became lumped into the same subculture as the people claiming to be alien channelers or time-traveling alien ambassadors who often use people's gullibility to earn a living. It's no wonder academics, professionals, and scientists publicly shy away from the subject. In research for this article, one physicist from a university in New York expressed their discomfort and asked that their name not be used because they were still trying to get tenure. So they didn't want to lose their spot in the university.
Of course not.
I don't get the sense of scientific community is any more interested or open than it was before Alexander Wendt, a political science professor at the University of Ohio State University, tells Popular Mechanic. But what has changed, I think, is the politics. I think that the wind is changing on this, just like it is on a lot of things. And it's probably young people in particular who are driving the change and are far more open.
Absolutely.
Forging a scientific future. Wendt, who has done academic work on the UFO question and presented a lecture at TEDx Columbus on the science of UFOs, sits on the board of UFO Data, a project designed to create high-tech observation systems to monitor the skies and track anomalous phenomena. He knows that the taboo exists surrounding UFO research, and getting any grant money to study UFOs is still impossible. According to Wendt, neither the government nor any established scientific organization are going to fund UFO research. The solution seems to be crowdfunding or finding private donors who will invest in the projects. UFO Data isn't the only group engaged in observational studies. For three decades, Project Hestdalen, a small observatory station that monitors a valley in Norway subject to strange light phenomena, has been jointly funded by the Østfold University College and personal donations. Another organization, the UFO Data Acquisition Project, the UFO DAP, is also building a small computer units designed to monitor and track aerial oddities. Using multiple sensors, the UFO Data Acquisition Unit is designed to record and track UAPs as well as provide metadata which can be analyzed. Hoffman recognizes the contemporary ufology still makes academics and scientists nervous. Even with the recent announcement of the Navy that UAPs do violate American airspace and the Pentagon was running the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, people are starting to ask more questions and some scientists are starting to participate. We are encouraged by this and believe it will continue to advance. However, the UFO community itself is comprised of factions which continue to make the scientists cringe.
Indeed.
The SCU is attempting to support scientists and serious researchers by focusing on what science can do to advance the interest. They see us as being a safe place where conspiracy theories are non-existent and scientific methodologies win. So while the existence of UFO is no longer up for debate, their source very much is. The UFO community has always been comprised of cultural and social renegades who haunt the fringes of mainstream culture, subject of ridicule more than respect. While some still smirk at the thought of anomalous aerial objects occupying our skies, the information is slowly coming out in the public domain and is starting to prove that these objects may not be a laughing matter. Whether the source of some of the data-rich UFO incidents is secret government technology, an alien non-human intelligence, or something fundamentally beyond our physical and philosophical understanding, we're left to wonder, as countless thinkers and, yes, even scientists have before, what if? So there you go.
That was quite an article.
Yes, it was, and you know it's great to know. And this was written just last week, November 22nd. So yeah, we'll have to keep our eye on the SCU, the Scientific Coalition for UAP Studies.
That's really cool. I like the idea of having several sensors just all over the place and maybe pick up something. That's a good idea. Very good idea. I think that's it's going to take a new approach, just like everything else.
Right.
We're constantly all repeating the same protocols over and over and over and over and over and over and over, and getting pretty milquetoast results for the most part. So I'm glad that people are considering new and adaptive methodologies for trying to collect evidence of this. Certainly, the U.S. Navy can't be the only ones to get a good video. Come on, people.
Well, they
Let's represent.
SETI's been around, and ESETI, and all of these, Dr. Greer's people and everybody he's connected to.
Sure.
But then again, that refers back to the fringe scientists and the fringe society.
Yeah,
that's built
absolutely.
up. And of course, it talked about stigmas, about the conspiracy theories, and according to this, it may have been the government trying to fuse those two things together. So you all look like kooks. Well, you all, us all.
We all kooks.
We all look like kooks.
But we're resonating kooks out here.
Yeah, that's true.
We are vibing kooks.
We're on
And,
the same vibes.
if everybody believes in UFOs, then I guess
gosh.
that's the prevailing theory then, isn't it?
Dawn ate a half an hour of the show.
All right, down to 1/2 hour left, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back after these messages. Don't go away. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the last half hour of our show tonight. And please remember, it's a hopping night on TFR, iHeart, TuneIn, and TalkStream Live. As after this show, you can stick around and check out Paisley Wild. The Spaces Between is coming up right after this show. And then if you stay tuned in for another hour, you will come face to face with our very own Duke Sullivan, and the World Bigfoot Radio on TFR, iHeart, TuneIn, and TalkStream Live. So don't miss it. It's a great night. Saturday nights are epic here on the network, and we're just building away, and it is great shows. And I know that Paisley also simulcasts on YouTube, so if you want to check her out on YouTube, head over to the Spaces Between YouTube channel, and you will find her there. So lots going on here tonight, and we are, of course, always focused on your entertainment. Are you not entertained?
Do I not amuse you?
No, there's a Gladiator.
Yeah.
Are you not
Goodfellas.
entertained? Oh yeah, okay. No, you can't break out Goodfellas after Gladiator, dude.
Why not?
Because it's you got to stick with the theme. Got to go.
you kidding me?
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. I didn't make up these rules.
Whatever.
I don't make up the
think
rules,
you
Don.
did make up those rules.
No, as far as you know, I did not.
As far as I know, you
Not
did.
as far as you know, Don.
As far as I know, you did.
I don't think you're understanding. All right. So how about some ghost photos? I think we should do some ghost photos.
Yes.
I think we should talk about ghost photography. Now, ladies and gentlemen, ghost photography has been around pretty much as long as cameras have been around. From even the old open the exposure and then close it. People were producing ectoplasm and all kinds of creepiness. And, of course, there was lots of hoaxes and BS around that. But perhaps there were some real ones that were captured along the way. But tonight, on our last half hour, we're going to discuss some ghost photos. And I've got several examples here to show you of some of the more classic ones. The first one, let me just say these are coming from ghostsandghouls.com. Ghostsandghouls.com.
Sweet.
And it looks like it should be a great adventure. So let me get this up on the screen.
Let's dive in.
Let's dive in, ladies and gentlemen. Here we have 100 scary ghost photos. We're not going to get through all 100 of them, but we'll get through as many as we can. So the first one, and this is really an amazing one. It was actually captured on CCTV, on a CCTV feed. And this is only one of a series of photos. I'm familiar with this one.
Right.
But it says this photo was taken at England's Hampton Court Palace in 2003 and reportedly shows a ghost standing at the door, the robed ghost of Hampton Court Palace. Now, this was observed by the security guards looking at a monitor, and there's a series of frames. It was a slower functioning camera, so it would probably capture three frames a second.
Right.
Older generation, obviously, but the first where this starts is that the doors are closed. Suddenly, they fly open. Both doors fly open, and the guards are like, we knew that doors were locked. And then the next frame, after they open, this figure appears and then fades back and the doors close. I think the doors close. I believe that's the ending of the sequence, but this is, of course, a still frame of that. And as you can see, it's pretty freaking wild.
Cindy just stepped in.
Okay.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi, Cindy. But yeah, that's doesn't blow up at all, does it? That's as big as I can make it here without exporting it and doing it that way. Obviously I'm not going to do this. The next one is a real famous one. I think this is called the Blue Lady, but let me see. This is in 1936. Photographers from Country Life magazine captured the Brown Lady on camera while visiting Raynham Hall in Norfolk, England. Legend has it the ghost is that of Lady Dorothy Walpole, the second wife of a violent man named Charles Townsend. The Brown Lady of Raynham Hall. And this was not observed by the gentleman, as I recall, when he was going through just taking pictures of the estate. This was not observed at the time, but was observed when he developed the film much later. I believe that that's the case. I don't recall for sure, but I don't believe he was aware of it at the time, but became aware of it after developing the film and redeveloped it several times to see if it was just some anomaly of the developing process. But it was definitely captured on the negative. So Very cool. And this, again, is not digital photography, ladies and gentlemen, and long predating Photoshop.
Yes.
It has been examined by the Kodak company and several other professionals who can find no foul play with this at all. This is allegedly one of the most pristine examples of ghost photography ever. And it has been challenged and unable to be debunked. So the next one, this one's a little odd, and I've seen this one. I've seen most of these before. But this is an amateur photographer snapped this photo at St. Philip's Cemetery in Charleston, South Carolina. Legend has it that the photo was taken exactly 99 years after the ghost in the picture, Sue Howard Hardy, gave birth to a stillborn baby. That's, it's just tragic. But there you have it. Very cool picture. This one, obviously, okay, so this is Charleston's Old City Jail. Is over 200 years old, and thousands of prisoners have died within the structure's imposing walls. And this was an anomaly that was captured going into there. And as you can see, it's quite a substantial anomaly. These are not the orbs of today. Now we see all these orbs, and oh, look, there's loved ones all around you. But these, I believe, are genuine. The ones that we've seen so far are genuinely anomalies that are captured that aren't easily explained. The next one is this one. They, of course, blew this up. This one's a little tougher because could it be matrixing or pareidolia? Sure, because there's obviously this branch in the foreground and could have borne some kind of fruit here, which would look like the head, and this could be a discolored bush and then some debris, and put it together, it looks like somebody standing there.
Right. Yeah.
So this one I'm not so convinced about.
Yeah.
But it says this photo was taken at Wisconsin's Dorothy Dunn Lake, appears to show a bonnet-clad child standing near the water. According to the photographer, no children were present at the time of the photo. Yeah, I'm not buying this one so much because you can see there are weird anomalies in this branch in the foreground that are mostly out of focus. But whatever is this, I believe, belongs to this branch as well.
Right.
And it just ties in with some other discoloration.
And that looks like the legs look like a stump.
Well, either that or just some debris, like a box or something that washed up on the shore. So I don't know.
Huh.
I'm not saying that it's not legitimate, but I just would question this one. Let's see, what is this one? Something over here is circled. It looks like a head leaning out around that doorway. It says, based in rural Pennsylvania farmhouse, the dollhouse cam shows a group of dolls reportedly move by themselves, and they occasionally capture spirits as well.
Huh.
So this is,
Spirit,
yeah, that does look like a head poking out from around that door, or in that shelf, or wherever that is, whatever we're looking at here. Does look like a head leaning out, which is terribly creepy. I just can't believe that would be their existence. It's like, it's got to be better than that. I didn't go through all this just to be sitting in a closet somewhere for eternity, I think I deserve more than that.
Well, you were talking about that on a show just earlier this week, weren't you?
Oh, I talk about it all the time, I'm
true,
sure. Yeah, but yeah.
Oh, I think you were talking about it. Maybe it was a podcast, The Haunted Houses.
Oh, yeah, it could be.
That might have been it.
So a Disney World visitor took this pic of the Haunted Mansion ride. The rider claimed no children were at the front. I don't understand. Were in front of him, and that the boy had no reason to look back. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, I see that now. Okay.
Yeah, I remember that ride. I was like,
I'm going to blow that up into the bigger screen because these pictures are much smaller. So I'm going to try to blow them up. I wonder if I can do the size. No, it doesn't look like I can.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh,
well,
yeah, you can right here. Yeah.
Is that
That's
it?
what this is. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah, it can make them bigger.
There you
Cool.
go.
There's the little boy's head, ladies and gentlemen.
That is very detailed.
That is pretty bizarre.
Yeah, I can't see that being.
No. That does look bizarre. So let's go look at these other ones that we passed by. Here's the other head peeking around. Here is the apparently little bonnet girl, which I'm not so sure about. I think this is debris.
Right.
This is bushes that are just discolored a little bit. And this is something that's hanging from this branch or something. This is the ghost in there. There's the little, the woman. I guess it's a woman. I don't know what I'm looking at here. You can tell there's a ghostly figure there, but I can't quite make out what I'm looking at.
I think it's supposed to be the mother of the stillborn child.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Mother, yeah.
And here is, of course, the brown lady, and then the ghost at Rynham Hall, or Rynham, or robed ghost of Hampton Court Palace. Sorry, I guess it's the brown lady of Rynham. Okay, so moving on.
Right there.
This one, oh, look at that, though. That sucks. I got to leave it down here while I read it. In November 2011, Diane Carlisle of Euclid, Ohio, appeared on the news to say her granddaughter had snapped a pic of 2 spirits getting busy and a third looking on.
Wow. Wow.
What are they doing?
They're voyeurs.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, so is
one's
this...
a voyeur, the other ones are exhibitions.
So these look like 2 spirits. That does, yeah, it is a very wild anomaly. I don't know, what is this, the third one looking on?
So it looks like Princess Diana.
It does, doesn't it? It's got
does.
that real
Yeah.
real beautiful profile there.
Yeah.
Whoever she is, she's a looker. I don't know.
Literally.
In this world or the next, she's still a looker. All right, so let's go to this one. Does this photo taken at Reed Gold Mine in Midland, North Carolina, show a ghost? A tourist claims she captured the figure on her flip camcorder. Mine apparition. Well, seems to have some weird proportions going on, though.
Yeah, it does.
Like the neck would be pushing the head into the shoulders.
Well, if they're, shrugging up because they're cold and they got their arms, crossed over.
I don't think so.
But the torso is really long.
Yeah, that's really, and maybe that's part of the deal. I guess they're
really short legs.
Yeah, yeah. It does look like an apparition though, but it does seem to be proportionally skewed. But I don't know. Perhaps that's normal. Oh, this is a good one. Look at that.
Wow.
That's good. Mary King's Close in Edinburgh, Scotland, has a long reputation for being haunted. This photo from the real Mary King's Close, a company offering tours of the underground street, reportedly shows a ghost after hours. The apparition at Mary's King's Close, or Close. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. That definitely is an apparition. That is a brilliant capture. That's like a 1 in a million. That's the holy grail right there for paranormal research. Capturing an apparition like that. Look at that translucence, and still you can make out that there's the bottom of the figure and there's the head.
Right.
It's obviously a female, it looks like. It looks like it's got a pretty small neck, not really wide shoulders, and it looks like a flowing garb of some kind. But yeah, wow. That's powerful. Oh, look at that.
Oh, wow.
What the hell are we looking at here? A demolition supervisor took this photo before demolishing an old Victorian home in Kendal, Cumbria, England. A woman named Frances Grimshaw used to run a guest house from the property, and her son believes she appeared in the window to protest the demolition. The woman in the window. Yeah, I suppose she wouldn't be real happy about all that.
Yeah.
If that was a place she loved and was proud of, that's too bad.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, it's definitely, if you love some place and, you put so much time and effort into it.
And then just to demolish it. I don't know. I suppose there comes a point when a house is just no longer safe and can't be really fixed.
Right,
But, oh, look at that, Don. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Huh? Looks like Grandma in the background there.
It's like Mother Teresa.
Well, okay. Elderly lady, anyway. It says, taken at the New Bell Inn pub in Harwich, Essex, England. This photo reportedly shows the ghost of an old woman sitting near a fireplace. The old woman at the pub. Yes, it does.
That certainly does.
That's a great capture and a very bizarre one, huh?
Yeah, I couldn't think of anything that would be back, behind them. Some things that may,
Right.
add to the picture itself.
But you can even see the eyes and
Yeah.
the nose bridge, and you can see a line for the mouth and a chin line, and you can see the shoulders and the arms coming and folding. So it really does look like an old woman covering herself in a duvet, how do they say it? Duvet, yeah. So, this is a real classic. I've seen this one a million times. Taken in Midlothian, Illinois' Bachelor Grove Cemetery, this famous picture shows a ghostly woman in white sitting on a tombstone, the woman of Bachelor's Grove. This is really famous. And now the interesting thing is that she was really very well manifested because she's even catching the light from the sun.
Yeah.
But this was, there is some translucency as well.
But there's shadow. She has shadow.
Yeah.
We've talked about that before, being able to manifest so much mass.
It's an energetic thing for sure.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. Look at this one, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that, Don.
Yeah, that's all kinds of scary.
That's just creepy. That guy doesn't even look happy to see anybody.
Yeah.
He looks like crabby as hell. Like, don't wreck my sleep.
Get out of my yard, you freaking kids.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn.
It says, does the strange pic show ghostly monk's face floating in an old abbey? The floating face. It does,
Yeah.
but is it for sure not doctored? I don't know. There's lots of levels of manifestation going on here, which to me is kind of peculiar because that face is absolutely
Yeah,
manifested.
that's pristine.
The rest of it is very
Ghostly.
wispy. And that's, I don't know. I guess you hear stories about stuff like that. I've never seen it myself. So I don't think I'd want to see that because, the whole idea of a floating head, that's just creepy. That is just creepy. But I don't know. That does, I mean, if it is legitimate, that's a hell of a capture. Those are literally rare as hell. Whoa. Does that look like eyes and a mouth?
Yeah.
What does this one say? It says the photo shows what appears to be a man's face in a pool of water. Paranormal or pareidolia? The face in the water. Well, I guess it could very well be pareidolia. But there is like a wisp of something on the water here as well.
Yeah. I've addressed this kind of stuff before in an episode, but it was specifically about photography and debunking the spiritual photography from like the 20s, 30s, 40s.
Yeah.
And so
I remember that.
But this is a little different because a lot of those were sitting, you make an appointment for a sitting and they take your picture, things like that.
Yes.
The famous picture of Mary Todd and supposedly
The
Lincoln
Abe.
behind her.
Honest Abe.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. But there have been a few pictures of that guy that's been debunked, that was done by that particular person.
Right.
And unfortunately, I can't remember names, but go
Sure.
back and see the episode that I talked about it in.
Look at that. You can barely see something coming up the stairs. There's a hand, though. You can see that hand really
yeah.
good. Huh. This one says, a teen snapped this photo while attending a wedding at Scotland's Tulloch Castle in 2008. According to an article in The Sun, the castle dates back to the 1200s and is reportedly haunted by a woman known as the Green Lady. And they call it Stairway to Heaven. Apparently, she ain't made it yet. She's pretty slow if she's been doing this since the 1200s.
Well, it looks like there's a lot of stairs there.
There is. Yeah, that's
I'd
true.
be like, up 3 or 4 and going, okay, the landing's only 5 steps away.
I need a sandwich.
1, 2.
Oh, there we go. Taken by Reverend R.S. Blanche at Austria's Corroboree Rock. This photo appears to show a translucent woman in the background. Legend has it that Aborigine tribesmen carried out terrible rituals on the site. The ghost of Corroboree Rock.
I'm not too hot on that one.
Well, it's compelling, but I don't know. Oh, look at that one. That one looks like security cam footage.
Yeah.
And it's not the old bug on the lens kind of thing because it's actually standing.
It's from Australia.
It's in the frame too. Are you sure?
Yes.
Australia's Curiosities Vintage Tea Room in Perth shared this photo in July 2012. According to Curiosity's owner, Dan Clifford, something set off the tea room's motion sensor late one night, and this is what he found after reviewing the security footage.
Oh, wow. That was even after hours?
Spectre in the tea room. Yep, after hours.
Wow.
It's late one night this happened, so it set off the motion sensor, which took this picture or footage. I don't know.
Wow.
I would love to see the corroborating footage, though,
Right.
because
Both the
look at
before
that.
and afters, yeah.
There's a light apparition, potentially. This photo is from Romania's Decibel Hotel. Apparently shows a ghostly woman at the top of the stairs. Legend has it that ancient Roman treasure is hidden somewhere in the 150-year-old building, and that this ghost helps keep it safe. The treasure keeper. What's he doing on the stairs then? Is that a clue? Like Zoic Scoob.
Weeks.
Yeah.
It's old man Barley.
Oh, there's the kid in the floor thing. I've seen this. A teenager snapped this photo on his cell phone and was shocked to see a girl peering up from the floor, or so it appears. Legend has it, and I don't know about the veracity of this, but legend has it that this girl was crying because the little boy wouldn't stop making faces at her. And there's no little boy there, obviously. It's all these women. And nobody was sure what was going on, but then when they looked at this picture, they saw this face. Now, I don't know if it's been debunked or not. I don't know any follow-up, so I can't speak to its authenticity, but I know that that's the claim. Take it or leave it. Any of these, take it or leave it. It's up to you. But this photo was taken at the infamous Stanley Hotel. Reportedly shows a ghost boy staring out the window of room 1211. According to OP, a single businessman occupied the room. No children.
That even looks like the kid from the movie Shining. Was it Danny?
I don't know. I never saw the movie. I mean,
Really?
I saw parts of it. It was just such an old movie, and I didn't care. This one is famous, though. I can't remember where it is, though. A man photographing a farmhouse in Hertfordshire, England, was shocked to discover a ghostly figure in one of his photos. It seems a boy in a white nightclothes regularly haunts the rural property.
Oh.
And it appears they're right. He really does.
The contrast is so incredible.
That's great capture. That's a beautiful capture. Look at that face. Yeah, it's not a face you want to remember. This photo taken in Charleston Graveyard captures what appears to be a face peering over the wall. Peekaboo. I'd say peekaboo. What the hell? And we just, this reminds me of Ghostbusters. Doesn't it? Shh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Willard Library in Evansville, Indiana, is reportedly haunted by a spirit known as the Gray Lady. The photo above came from one of the library's 4 ghost cams.
So they have cameras specifically for ghosts?
They must know that it's haunted. So they've set up ghost cams, and this actually appeared on it. That is a good capture. That does not look doctored. It's got the same resolution, same pixelation.
Right.
It really matches the photo, so it appears they actually captured her. Let's see. This one is the lanky.
This one before.
What?
We've talked about this one before.
Sure. I'm sure we have. Yeah, probably most of these we've probably talked about through the years. But the lanky figure in the back is reportedly a ghost. The folks who attended the séance, held at the infamously haunted Toys R Us in Sunnyvale, California, insists the man wasn't there at the time of this photograph. Yeah, there he is. There's the ghost of Toys R Us. That would be, I don't know. Well, it's no longer a Toys R Us, so I don't know what's in that place now.
It's probably a Babies R Us.
Yeah, Babies R Us. Comes with free haunted merchandise. All right, we're down to about 3 minutes. Couple more.
Sure.
This photo from Reddit reportedly shows a ghost of a man who worked and died on the research vessel Nor. According to the stories, many crew members and scientists spot the spirit making rounds on the ship. Where are we at here? I'm apparently missing it.
Yeah, me too.
Is this him? Is it like this all him? Is that what we're cooking with here?
I think so, but I think that's just poor picture.
It is kind of a discoloration all the way up to the light here. So I don't know. I'm not so sure what to think about this one. Oh, look at that. Or is it the shadow? What the hell are we looking at here? That is a face. Pic shows a ghostly face in the crypt. So this is it. This is the face of an 11th century Berlin church. According to the submitter, there was no one around while he was taking the photo, nor were there any mirrors or reflective surfaces. That's wrong. That's terrible. God, those ages were so dark.
Yes.
Oh, I mean, I know they call them, like, a lot of them the dark ages, but man, they weren't kidding. There was a lot of crappy things going on back then. Taken at a church in England's Church Aston, Newport, Shropshire, this photo appears to show an extra member of the wedding party. The submitter, the child closest to the camera, said she felt cold and sad while taking this photo, though she wasn't sure why.
Well, there's something standing behind her.
Yeah, this, right?
No. It's behind her.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yep. Okay, yeah, this is all people in the wedding party.
The little girl there is the one who submitted the picture.
Yeah, that's, I can't really see it because that crap's right in the way.
Stuff's in the way. There you go. That's better.
I hope it's all appearing on film. I hate these sidebars.
Yeah.
Stuff pisses me off. Oh, yeah, this is a famous one. I've seen this one before.
Yep.
All right, and then after this, we'll be done with the photos. But taken in 1966, this famous ghost photo shows a shrouded figure clinging to the tulip staircase in England's National Maritime Museum As with many ghostly photos, experts from Kodiak reportedly examined the picture and found no evidence of tampering. The tulip staircase ghost.
Kodak.
Yeah.
You said Kodiak.
Oh, I did? Oh,
Yeah, you
sorry.
did. That's-
Kodak. Sorry if I mispronounced that. But
But
yeah,
that's
that is a
great
famous one.
That's kind of
You
scary.
can even see the hands on the
Yeah.
rail and this figure kind of slumped over, pulling itself up the stairs. So creepy as it is. But ladies and gentlemen, that's it for us tonight. I hope you have enjoyed the journey here on the Paranormal Portal. Thank you so much for being a part of our journey. Please make sure you like and subscribe and share the stream and find our podcast and subscribe to that. If you like the podcast, please go to iTunes and leave us a message or leave us a great rating. And stick around for Paisley Wild coming up next. And then later on, World Bigfoot Radio with Duke Sullivan right here on TFR iHeart. Tune in to TalkStream Live.
Good night.
Love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day. And remember to laugh as much as you can. Good night.
Good night.